Hey there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. I'm so excited about this live today. I'm going to teach very simply my biggest 2020 takeaways. You do not want to miss this. I am Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, business and life consultant. Got started in my company a long time ago, 17 years ago. And I, like you, I just simply made a decision that I wanted to go to work as myself. I wanted to combine my corporate background as a trainer and my systems in motherhood into my very own business, and hence the mom strategist. I've had the opportunity to service women, thousands of women, literally all around the world, helping them to, one, find time for themselves to be able to make room for their lives and their dreams, but secondly, and equally important, how to package their knowledge, their expertise, their experience into high ticket offerings so that they can change the world, right? That they can change the world. You know, I had one big problem when I got started, and that was I went to a small business resource center and I was told that my idea, mom coaching, would never work, that no one would ever pay me to do what I've had the opportunity to do, in the success and changing lives of others. And I always share this at the top of every broadcast because sometimes, if you're like me and you're a thought leader and you think outside of the box and you share those big ideas with people who have small minds or narrow pathways in terms of how you can get somewhere, they might tell you that what you want to do is impossible. And I'm so grateful. I kept looking for someone to help me. And I ended up bumping into coaching, a coach, and her systems changed my life. Literally, it was the first time I ever saw someone doing what I wanted to do. And fast forward, I've had the opportunity to, do corporate deals with Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies as the mom strategist brand. I've had the opportunity equally to be signed to Emmy nominated, nationally syndicated television shows as the mom strategist, and to be able to change their lives, personally coaching thousands of women, but really having the opportunity to take my strategies and my systems, and millions of women have benefited from seeing my advice, reading my books, my coaching, my curriculum, my licensing training programs around the world. So today I thought I'm going to share with you my biggest 2020 takeaways because there's some huge ones. And I know that for some of you, some of what I will share here might be just what you need to change what you're doing. I'll tell you this, that as a result of growing my company, one of the biggest things that helped me was because I had built my business properly. And I'll talk about this today. When my husband developed kidney disease 10 years ago, I could stand in the gap for my family. Now, I always share my story because I think that the reason that we grow a business is so we can stand in the gap for the people we love the most, right? And one of the things that I wanted to do was be able to not be codependent on my husband for income or codependent on my job in order to make a living. And I was able to achieve that. And I know that many of the women that followed me, that is one of the things that you want. And I was so grateful that my husband was able to heal the way he needed to. When he was eligible and received a kidney transplant, he was able to get the rest he needed. He didn't have to run off back to work, or money wasn't a concern. So I'm so excited to be able to just share the system that I use in my own life with you guys today, just a part of it today, because I know that some of this is really going to benefit you in this upcoming year, making the shifts, making the changes that might change every single thing for you. All right. So today I'm going to talk about my biggest 2020 lessons. And I wrote down, let me see how many I have. I think I have 13. And I wrote them down, and I literally just thought about 2020. And for so many people, when you ask them, how was 2020? You'll hear so many people mixed reviews, right? Some will say it wasn't a good year. Some will say it was an amazing year. Some will say it was a wacky year. But I can tell you this, that 2020 for me was an amazing year in that I had the opportunity to spend even more time with my family. And because of some of what I'm going to share with you today, I have had the opportunity to be available to and be present with my family. And because I built my business properly. And I'm not talking about it from the perspective of being braggadocious. I'm talking about it from a perspective of, if you build the business properly, then no matter what happens, you'll have a great year. So, number one, my biggest lesson, number one for 2020, is you can be profitable in business no matter the circumstances if you, one, know how to market your business properly, and two, if you know how to package and sell your services. And the reason I wanted to lead with this is because this is the thing that is the shifter for all of you. You know, no matter your perspective, most of the women that watch me are interested in taking what they're doing and packaging their knowledge in some way as a product or as a service. And one of the things that I observed as one of the biggest lessons, whether it was my own lesson or even watching my clients do exactly the same, here's a year, 2020 is a year where we're dealing with, an international pandemic. And for so many people, it meant a loss of income. It meant that businesses had to close. It meant a degree of uncertainty. And yet I watched many of the women that I coach who all sell high ticket things. High ticket to me means something for $2,500 or more. And I watched many of them, despite all of what was happening, soar during this time, continue to sell high ticket products, stand in their value, have more demand than they've ever had ever. Like literally. All right. So I want you to know this, that the biggest lesson is, if you build your business properly, okay, no matter the circumstances, whether it's a pandemic or anything else, okay, and you know how to market and you've got the right advice on how to package your knowledge into the right product or service, and you can sell that service, right, because you're trained to do that, then you will be less impacted by whatever is happening in the world. And I can tell you this, that this is something I saw firsthand. It's not a conversation that we talk about a lot because most people are talking about the fact that and how the pandemic has impacted their businesses. And that's true. But there is a margin, and I want you guys to understand this. There are people during this time, and I'm one of them, that we did not see a loss in income. We saw more demand for high ticket services. We saw more clients wanting what we have at the highest level. And I saw the exact same thing in my clients and in their businesses also. None of my clients slashed their prices during this time because they didn't have the belief and the mentality that they needed to do that. And they also understood the most important thing about selling. And that is, if you are delivering something that creates amazing value for others, if it changes their life, if it delivers a promise, a result in a huge way, you will always be in demand. And that is one of my biggest lessons. When you are in demand, you are in command. And it's flat true. And it's not something that enough people know about or know how to build their products at the highest level. It's my mission, 100%. Life's mission is to teach you how to take your knowledge, your expertise, your education, and how to package that knowledge into a high ticket offering. Just last week, we had a client who came to my Giant Experience conference in October, closed a $144,000 deal. Just 2 or 3 weeks before then, a week after the December conference, we had a client who closed a $15,000 sale within 24 hours and another $15,000 sale within 10 days after that. We had another client within 4 days closed $2,500 and had never done this before. Now, am I making any promises to you? I'm not. But what I'm illustrating and demonstrating to you is that during the pandemic, my clients were selling high ticket and they were closing at a high level and they were standing in their value. They were hosting online events that were doing 6 figures plus. And you can do this too. And you actually need to know what I just told you in step 1, which is, in order to be profitable in business, no matter the circumstances, you actually need to know how to market properly. You need to know how to package and sell your knowledge, your expertise, and your experience, and as a high ticket service. That's the secret. So that's my biggest lesson. Number 2, Being original never goes out of style. Okay. Being original never goes out of style. And I'll tell you what, each and every year, this always makes my list. Hi, Princella. Uh, being original never goes out of style. It's interesting to me because I think that a lot of people think that the shortcut is to be what I call a creative duplicator. But the challenge is that when you assume someone else's identity or what they're doing and you don't show 100% up, for your life and your experience and what you know how to do, it creates insecurity, it creates doubt. You got to know this, that the people who want to work with you want to work with you because you're you. They want to work with you because of the things that didn't work in your life that you've learned from, and now you can advise them on it. They want to work with you because of your work experience. They want to work with you because of your personality, your the life composition, single, married, divorced. They want to work with you because there's likeness in you. Okay. So one of the greatest life lessons that I add this every single year is understanding that being original will never go out of style. It will never go out of style. And so I'm pretty hardcore about this when I'm coaching my clients and telling them that your purpose is not Googling what someone else is doing. Your purpose is not found in copying what someone else is doing. Your purpose, so many women of faith are women of faith until it comes time to stand in faith. Like, be yourself, like be the original you, right? Own who you are and what you do. And I think one of the things you'll see for sure is that you'll have greater success quicker, faster, sooner, showing up being all of who you are. And that is one of the things that I get my clients to look at from the very beginning, is looking at all the different aspects of what they bring to the table and how can they show up 100% themselves. Today, I'm talking about my biggest 2020 takeaways and lessons. And number 3 is, in order for you to lead others, you have to learn how to lead yourself. And this is so important for those of you who are looking to lead organizations, or looking to run your own company, you're CEO in a company, or maybe you're looking to be a coach, and you're thinking like, man, I want a large business. Well, you've got to make sure that you are doing what it takes for you to lead yourself. Because the only way that people are going to want to follow you or learn from you is because they trust you. And that usually starts with them seeing that they can see that you trust yourself to do some things that are outside of the box. When you think about people who create the most success, the most amazing success, the reason that you know that they created success is because, the most important word, you see them doing it. And so maybe, just maybe, this year is the year that you really start thinking about, are you leading what I call from the front? Are you leading by example? It's one thing for me to say to you that my clients sell high ticket things. It's like anybody could say that. But it's another thing for me to be able to show you that that's true, right? And I can back it up. I can. Okay. And I always post my testimonials here for you to take a look, because I think it's super important for you to know that the things that I say to you aren't just words. It's the truth. So for this upcoming year, one of the biggest lessons I will tell you that will serve you well this year is, whatever it is that you say you do, make sure there's evidence that you actually do it. All right. And that's the quickest and fastest road to build trust as a leader. Really important. And I always say that there's nothing that any of my clients are going to say they want to do. And if I'm advising them on it and I haven't done it, and I haven't done it. Okay. Because how could I coach someone on something I haven't done? All right. Think about it. Now ask yourself that question. Number 4. Today, I'm talking about my biggest lessons in 2020. Build a business and a life that you want to come home to. So I think that a lot of times, I think people forgot about this part. People have worked so hard at work that work became the center of everything. And because of 2020 and having to reposition and reframe everything, now people are home. Many people are working home for the very first time. I've been working home for over a decade. and it's my preference. And now we have an opportunity to look at how we're living, right? Like, build a life that you want to come home to, in opposed to escape. And I think so many people use work as their form of escape, or so many other things. And all of those things that are at home now that you get to enjoy in a different way, all of that rest that maybe you didn't have, or maybe all the carpooling that you were doing, or extra activities. Now you have an opportunity to really think about, when you're building your business, how can you build this business around your life? That was the very first question that I asked myself when I got started my company years ago. I knew I could make a great income in corporate America. I was making a great income, but I didn't want to do that because I wasn't going to be able, Ursula, to see my children plays. I was going to have to ask my boss for time off, and that wasn't the life I was shooting for. I wanted to build a business around my life. And those are the most powerful questions that I had to ask. I wanted to date my husband in the middle of the day. And I know many of you guys want to do exactly the same. I wanted to go to every play. I wanted to be the mom that was showing up and volunteering as she wanted to. And I've done that. And I built a business that allowed me to do that. But more importantly, I asked myself this important question. Look at 2020 and ask yourself, look at some of the shifts or changes that you've made, maybe in your home or in your life that you enjoy, and ask yourself, how can you build in your business a systems in your business, or models in your business that allow you to create greater freedom, greater financial stability, giving you more time to do the things that you love to do. And I think that's super important. My husband and I have both been full-time entrepreneurs, working from the comfort of our home for over a decade together. And we love it. And our kids have never seen their mom or dad ever. My oldest is 22, my daughter's 19, my youngest is 15. And they've never seen mom or dad ever work a job in a conventional way. We've always run our companies from our home. And it's a very powerful gift to give your children. But more importantly, think about for yourself, how can you build this business around your life? And when I think about it, I think it's building a business that's time rich. I work about 6 hours a week from the comfort of my home. Okay. And the rest of the time is family time, right? And I can do what I want to do. And I say this because you can do what you want to do also, but it's about asking the right questions, right? It's about getting the right advice that will allow you to do that. Number five, my biggest lesson in 2020. And this is a forever lesson for me. So it's always going to be on my list. And that is, be generous, period. Be generous. I think if you want to have great success in life or in business, be generous. Like, really mean it. Be generous. And I was telling my clients the other day, I said, look, you know, if I have it and I can give it to you, I will. And I'm not really a very attached person to things or anything like that. And I've learned in growing my company that, and I believe the reason that we're successful is because if I know my clients need to know it, I'm going to teach it to them. I'm going to give them the full solution. I'm not going to, put them on some ascension ladder and have them move all up and move around and know that they can't create success with what I'm giving them. I'm going to give them every single thing I have. Now, what I also know about generosity and giving people the full solution is that people have different abilities to receive. There are people who you can give everything to, but if their mind is in limitation, they can only digest but so much. But I can't control that. What I can do is be generous in my giving. And that means not conditional, not in giving in fragments, not giving with certain expectations or limitations, being legitimately generous. And modeling that generosity in your life, in your world, it just allows you to, you feel good every day. You feel good every day because you know that you've given people what they need. So ask yourself, when you think about your products or your services, right, your offerings, how you're showing up in this world, are you being generous? I can tell you this, that when you are, it does come back to you in ways that you have no idea, right? Ways that you just aren't even expecting, because it's spiritual law. And that's why it comes back. Number 6, biggest lesson, is make self-care easy. Look, Make it easy. All right. So sometimes we know we need to take care of ourselves, whether it's more sleep, whether it's resting, whether it's um, exercise, whether it's eating better, whether it's better relationships, more time to think, pray, whatever, right? Journal, get clear, whatever it is. Make it easy. Make self-care easy. And I think that so many of us, we've made it difficult because of the lives we've built for ourselves. 2020 is a great year to reset. You realize now if you were doing too much and then you're like, I kind of like doing a little bit less. I like being home. I like commuting less. Ask yourself, how can you sow a seed in your life that can change your life for yourself right now? It was one of those things. I've always had a trainer that I've worked out with over the years, all the time, for years. And obviously, gyms all closed and all that. And it was a question that I asked myself. And I said, I'm going to make self care super easy. I'm going to create inside of our home a wellness center. And, and I did. And literally, built out for us a virtual gym and was just so excited about how it turned out. One, making it super easy. We can all go downstairs and do our thing and have, high level success taking care of ourselves from the comfort of our home. Now ask yourself, what are the things that you can do in your home that will allow you to take care of yourself every single day? You deserve it. And I can tell you that anything that you want to show up for in the most powerful way does require you to be all of you. All right. So these are the kind of conversations that, quite frankly, are the most important conversations. And I know that if I talk about making money, then everyone wants to talk about making money. But the reality is, you want to make more money, make self care part of what you do ritualistically for yourself. Right. Spend 90 minutes alone with yourself each and every week. Get clear. Hey, Lori, beautiful Lori. Get clear on yourself, right? What's best for you, all right, before you make a move, all right? Number 7, spend time with those that you love the most. And I think COVID was one of the greatest lessons for us, was all up to it, 2 children away at college, and everybody ended up back home. And it's nice, right? Like, make time, like, to be with the people you love, play games with them, get to know them, support them, love them, tell them you love them, hug them, create memories, make experiences. You can't. Time is one of those things that is a tremendous gift. You can't get time back. And I think so many people do take for granted the time they have with the people that they love. And I would say one of the greatest gifts for us from 2020 was having everybody in the house, all back again, back together again, our 2 adult children, young adult children, and just having the opportunity to really savor that. And we are, right? And we are, right? So awesome. All right. And number 8. Oh, number 8's good. I'm talking today about my biggest 2020 lessons. And number 8 is never shrink your shine. Now, I'm going to talk about this, okay? Don't shrink your shine. Mm-mm. Don't dim your glow. Mhm. Don't turn down your light. Like, literally, we need it. And the deal is that there's something special about you. You're amazing. You're incredible. You're smart. And you are sharp. And yeah, you are quirky and you do things differently, but that's you, okay? And you got to embrace all of who you are. This world has been waiting for you, okay? And so I think that one of the things that I have the opportunity to see firsthand, my clients, we call them giants, and I only work with giants or smart, sharp women who have extraordinary skill in being able to create impact with their gifts, their knowledge, their background. And it's so easy when you show up differently in this world, right, to turn it down, because often we don't have a place for those of us who, what I just said is you, okay? We don't have a place, right? You don't have a place because, you think about your friends, and if people are trying to be ordinary or like everybody else, and you've got all of these out of the box ideas, where do you go? And how do you show up? And who do you relate to? Right? Just saying. Okay. So I'm telling you that 2020 is taught me in tremendous ways, watching these women not shrink their shine. And because they didn't shrink their shine, because they stood in their gifts, they stood in their value, they decided to elevate themselves, right, by using their gifts and at the highest and tallest level, they were able to attract to them amazing opportunities, congruent friendships, right, that were in alignment. See, the problem is that when you shrink who you are, when you don't show up tall, when you aren't being all of who God created you to be, you don't attract the people in your life that are your own ambition level and above. I'm breaking this down, okay? And you deserve more than that. All right. I'm a witness. I watch the women in my community create incredible strategic connections with one another. And the community is very powerful. And the reason that they are let into the community is because they decided to show up for themselves. And one of the biggest lessons that I will share with you for 2020 is from 2020 is don't shrink your shine. Okay. If you're in an environment, if you have friends who maybe they hate their job, they hate their life, but that's not you. Okay. It's not you. All right. You got to hang out and get around people who are doing great and amazing things, who want to hear your extraordinary dreams. We just had a coaching call on New Year's Day, and my clients, we worked on their strategic intentions for the upcoming year. And collectively, of those that came on the call, they want to hit $4.5 million. It was so powerful listening to everyone just share what their numbers were and to stand in their value and to talk about how they're going to get there. Do you have a community like that? Because you should. Okay. It's important to be able to take those big dreams and have a place for it. People who will listen with you, people who will hold a place with you, who will run with you and hold you accountable. I'm breaking this down. And I know that there's someone out there that's listening to me and saying, I do not have that. And that's one of the greatest lessons that I observed in 2020. I watched women sell high ticket again and again during an international pandemic when people said things are falling apart, people aren't buying, lower your prices. And my clients didn't. They leaned into what I teach them and they all sold high ticket. You know, I just had a client the other day that just came to the December event, Gwen, who just closed an $8,500 contract, very first time she's ever done that. And you can do it too. All right. Number nine. Number nine, I'm talking about my biggest 2020 lessons. And number nine is invest quickly in yourself. Invest quickly in yourself. Invest quickly in yourself. You know, my biggest lesson in 2020 is all of my clients, I coached hundreds of women over the course of the year. All of my clients make a decision to work with me, typically within a 7-day period of time. And why is this important? And how does this have to do? What does this have to do with you? This doesn't have to do with you working with me, although it's a great idea. It has to do with the mentality of women who say yes to themselves. They aren't people who wait 30 days or 60 days or 90 days to say yes. And they change their life because they say yes. There's a power in investing in yourself quickly. And I think about myself, like over the years, I never laid out a plan. Like, I'm going to invest in myself in 2 years and then I'm going to write this book. No, I didn't. I said, I want to write a book. And then I looked for the resources that allowed me to do it. And I said, yes. I said, I want to be a coach. And I made that decision and I invested in myself at the highest level. So you need to learn the gift of investing in yourself quickly. And that all has to do with worthiness. I'm breaking this all the way down. Okay. Has to do with worthiness. The moment that we hem and haw, the moment we become anxious and insecure about things that make us better, you need to ask yourself why. You spend 40 to 70 hours a week doing something that you like, but you may not love. And yet, when it comes to investing in yourself so that you can create shifts in your life and your world to do something that can change your life in the truest sense, you're an indecision around that. It means that your belief muscle is weak. And that belief muscle is, do you believe in yourself enough that You deserve it. You need to ask yourself. I'm just breaking it down. These are my biggest lessons that I see in 2020. I think about people who I didn't know, who Terry, I was thinking, well, I have a client that started working with me back in like March, and within 2 weeks sold her first $15,000 product, and now is negotiating a multi six-figure deal like 6 months later. Well, she said yes. She decided to work with me within 3 days. And within those 3 days, she said yes, and she changed her life. The reality is that you can change your life, but you have to decide to do it. All right, number 10. You can change your entire life with one choice, so choose wisely. That's one of my biggest lessons in 2020. Because I think about it from this perspective. I have two coaches. My coach I've worked with for 17 years, and she's amazing. She's changed my life. And she recommended, that's a tip, okay, for those of you who are like the coach surfers, right? Like surfing, right? She recommended to me to work with her coach. And that was 2 years ago. And I did. I started working with a coach a year ago. So I have two people who give me advice, whose systems I follow. And if you choose wisely, if you make investments based on what you need, not based on who you're not, you'll always make a powerful decision, right? All right, what do I mean by this? This is a really deep concept, okay? When I make an investment in myself, I'm not making an investment thinking that someone's going to fix me. No. Mm-mm. When I make an investment in myself, I see a result. I see demonstrated proof of the thing that I want to achieve also in my company, okay? And I also see things that really support me, like, both of my coaches are in great, healthy relationships with their partners, with their husband and their wife, okay? And that's super important to me because not only do I want great, amazing business success, but I also want to learn from people who have great life success. And I think that's a tip for so many people, that we take advice from anybody because of a pretty dress and a microphone and look, you know what I'm talking about, pretty dress, a beautiful branding, a postcard, a beautiful phrase. But the reality is that, you can change your entire life with one choice. So choose wisely. And sometimes we haven't been wise, right? So the reason that we haven't gotten the results that we desire isn't because we haven't made investments. It's just we maybe made investments in our lowest place, not choosing from our highest and tallest place. I never look at an investment as somebody's going to make me money. No, if I make an investment, I am making an investment to get a return. I only make investments because I know I'm going to get a return. In fact, I don't make investments where I'm thinking, we'll see, will this work in a month? It's going to work in a month. So I only invest with people where I see demonstrated proof that their clients have consistently created the results that they're selling. Two, that their processes and systems are transferable. I talk about this all the time. I learned this from my coach, Joel. Technique is transferable. Talent is not, okay? And you have to know the difference. Sometimes we make investments because we just want to feel good. What if you made an investment because for the right reasons this coming year, right? To change your life, right? What if you base that on proof, like evidence? Like if I tell you I can help you take your knowledge and package it into a high ticket offering on or offline, right? And I tell you I can show you how to do this, and it's going to be a product you're going to sell for $2,500 or more, $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000. Don't you want to see that there are people who have done that, right? Not just people from 10 years ago. If I do that, wouldn't I currently be doing that? Wouldn't that currently be evidence and proof that I could demonstrate? Be kind to yourself in that way. Choose wisely for yourself in that way. It's really important. Number 11, I'm breaking it down. Number 11, associate with giants. And my clients, as I mentioned, they call themselves giants. And I can tell you that I only work with giants because to change your life, you have to be giant about it, not optional. And I think that, giants, I believe, have the appetite to be in the company of other giants. That means that you like to be around other people that win. And because when you see other people do great things, it inspires the giant that's inside of you. You know you can do it if you see other people do it, right? When you are a giant, and this is just how my clients show up. I've seen this all throughout 2020, but growing my company, they share their results. Share, many people share today. They share their results. They share the transformation that the journey has been. They share resources with one another. It's important to be in communities with people who don't believe that in order for one person to have success, that means that another person can't. There's more than one spotlight. And it's time to associate with giants and to get over those toxic thought processes that are about beating someone or winning someone or taking something away or hustling to get there forever, or you have to be the person that's working the hardest forever. It's hard to sustain that and be excited about it. Associate with giants, learn how to do things differently, understand how to stand tall in your gifts, rub elbows with people who are doing things you're not doing that you need to do, right? And that as a result of being around them, it's possible. Grow the esteem to be around folks like that. Really important. I've seen the power of what that looks like. My clients, they love being around each other. It's a very powerful group of women, and they do amazing things. And number 12, read. Okay, like you want to change your life in this upcoming year. Be a reader. I'm a big time reader. I'm a big time investor in myself. I don't care how you read. I mean, you might read from a audiobook. You might read from just read a book, but make sure you have a habit to read. I mean, if you want to grow your business, you got to grow yourself. You got to grow your thoughts. If you want to learn how to relate to people differently, right? Read, grow yourself. Super important. Yeah, I know that reading has changed my life. One of my clients, I'll never forget this. She said, and I always quote her around this because no one's ever said this to me. Her name's Jackie. She said to me one day, I was answering questions. She said, "Is there a book of answers?" And I said, "What?" She said, "It just seems like everything that we ask you, doesn't matter where it's coming from. Like, you always have an answer. And one, I only teach what I know, but two, I read a lot. Right? And in reading, I have grown a great deal, right? And I've discovered myself, right? And work on myself all the time. And I learn a lot of things that also can support the people that I serve. So whatever it is that you're doing, make sure you're growing. And you'll see in this upcoming year, it'll make all the difference for you. Number 13, and this is the last thing, and then you guys can share. Number 13, don't expect something for nothing. Okay, that's one of my biggest lessons in from 2020, and that is that I think a lot of people experience that are in business, that there are people who maybe your business backed up, or and you can't figure out like what happened, like in your coaching consulting business. And now is an opportunity for you to think about new ways to add value to the people that you serve. But people are not going to ever reward you long term if you don't give, right? And giving could be that you create results for them, something memorable. I'll share this. One of my favorite restaurants, obviously, right now, I'm in Baltimore, so none of the restaurants in Baltimore City are open currently, but they can do carry out. And because of this restaurant being amazing and one of my favorite spots, my husband and I, for date nights and whatever on weekends and things like that, when the pandemic hit, I thought immediately, these guys over deliver every time we go. Their service is amazing. It's a young couple. We love them. And so I thought they have to go on rotation. Like, I need to make sure that no matter what I do, that I do what I need to do to buy from them, right? So don't expect something for nothing. See, the seeds that you sow are always the ones that come back. I'll give another example. My makeup artist, Ashley, amazing. She's amazing. And she's so positive. She's so amazing. And when the pandemic hit right away, first in March, first person I thought of was Ashley. And I said, hey, let me buy a gift card. I haven't done any makeup. I mean, I haven't been anywhere to do any makeup. But see, the thing is, this is what I'm trying to demonstrate, is that if you are good to people, period, if you over deliver already, folks are going to be looking for you. You aren't going to look for them. They want to make sure you're okay. All right. So you want to run your business, you want to run your life like that. I hope that really helps. And I can give countless examples of things like that. That's what I think about right now, is that, tough times, they don't last long, but tough people do. But if you have shown up, right, and really added value to the lives of others, those folks are going to show up for you because of how you showed up. And if you haven't, don't expect something for nothing. Okay. Don't expect something for nothing. I'm always surprised by people who want, you want to make thousands of dollars, you don't want to do work. You want to, you know what I mean? You want to, you want to have an amazing business. You don't want to make any calls. I mean, what are we doing? Okay. You want to have clients that come back over and over again. You don't want to deliver amazing value, give people what they deserve. Come on. It's time for just a new thought process. And I do think that last year was so good in terms of showing us more how to show up in more powerful ways, not to expect something for nothing. Why would you ever want something for nothing? Okay. It's just not sustainable in general, right? Something for nothing. All right. So that's what I have for you today. I wanted to share this. I'm going to share a couple of your comments. And Facebook user Lori says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Lori. And I don't know who wrote this, so I can personally attest to what Mia is saying. She is a gift to the world. Oh my goodness. World and my life, the support, truth, genuine interest, and love in which she shares openly is authentic, and it will change your life. Thank you. I can't say your name, but thank you. I appreciate that. And this conversation is a gift. Thank you, Mia. I can't say your name. Who is that? Okay. Thank you for writing that here. I appreciate you. I was on that call. It was a powerful call. Take a leap of faith and invest in the opportunity. Show up for yourself. You will not regret it. I just thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know your name, but I appreciate you for putting that. Virginia writes, oh, love you. I love you too. And I love that scarf and your hair, like the lean there in that photo is really good. I like it. Okay. Virginia, sharp. You are sharp. Yes. Okay. I like it. And Ursula writes, yes, 100%. I'm in Macon, Georgia. Oh, you inspire me so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Okay. There's more than one spotlight. So Erica, thank you for leading the way. I appreciate it. So I always like to find out your ahas or your takeaways. What are your ahas or your takeaways? Biggest aha takeaway being here tonight. I shared very simply, Erica, my biggest 2020 lessons. And I'll just recap really quickly while you guys write your biggest aha takeaway that I shared. One is number one, you can be profitable in business no matter the circumstances if you market properly and you know how to package and sell your services. And it's what I teach my clients how to do, step by step, how to take their knowledge, their education, their gifts, and to package it. Number two, being original never goes out of style. It never does, right? Like, be the highest version of yourself. Okay, period. Number three, in order to lead others, learn to lead yourself first. All right. And number four, build a business you want to come home to. All right. That's a time-rich business. Number five, be generous, period. It's very important. And number six, make self-care easy right there in your house. Okay. Make it easy. Okay. Number seven, spend time with those you love the most. Okay. Number eight, never shrink your shine. And if you have to hang around anyone, okay, that wants you to shrink your shine, it is the wrong phone call to make, and it is the wrong person to visit. It's time for a shift. Number nine, invest quickly in yourself. because you deserve it. Okay. And number 10, you can change your entire life with one choice. So choose wisely. And number 11 was associate with giants. Number 12, read. And number 13, don't expect something for nothing. Okay. And so AHA's Erica, who led the way, said, there's more than one spotlight. Isn't it true? There's more than one spotlight. I've got a light right here, and I've got a light right here, and I've got a light in front of me. Okay. And there's more light. Okay. So understand, hang out with people that understand that, and make sure you're in communities that get that. Super important this upcoming year. All right. We shine a spotlight on lots of folks in our community, lots of people doing amazing things. That's the expectation. Linda, it was Linda. Thank you, Linda, for what you wrote. I appreciate you. You're an amazing giant in our community. Virginia Sharp, invest in yourself. That was your takeaway, right? Invest in yourself. You deserve it. All right. Without hesitation, right? Without deliberation, invest in yourself at the highest level so that you can really get what you deserve. And none of that investing in at something that you can walk away from. It's part of the problem. People invest in low ticket things that were never meant to create a result, and then they don't get a result. Okay. Facebook user, AHA, was don't shrink your shine ever. Okay. And that's super important. And I think sometimes when you're smart and sharp and you're giant in many ways, and you walk in a room and it's just who you are, and you've been like this your entire life. And sometimes we have to become comfortable being in being in the company of our talent and not muting ourselves because others have a need for that. Okay, super important. Okay, Rosetta writes, my aha is technique is transferable, talent is not. I learned that from my mentor Joel. He said that and I was like, that is so true. I will never dance like Michael Jackson. It's never happening. He could have taught me personally, but technique is transferable. And that's why there's a difference, Rosetta. Anyone can teach you the what, but the only people that can teach you the how are people who have done it step by step. Okay, Virginia, a giant mentality, right? You gotta, literally think about things by standing tall, right? And with other people who are standing taller. And what happens from that, you start to see things from a completely different perspective. And I think that's part of what's in the way for so many, is that we are in the room with people who are speaking the same language we're speaking. You need to be in a room with people speaking a language you do not speak. If you think about learning a second language, right? A new language that you don't speak, you become more fluent being around people who speak that language fluently. And now initially you're like, I don't know what you're saying. But it grows you, right? Grows you. And the same is true with anything. All right. Marissa is here. It's 5 and 8. Let me check 5. Number 5, be generous, right? Come on. Life is abundant. It's so funny to me because it is my go-to of generosity. It is who I am. And I am abundant. I'm a giver. And one of the things that I've learned is that whatever hangups, I'm gonna call them hangups, okay, that we have around being generous, it also translates to how you show up in your business. Like it does. Like we're not separate beings. So working on that muscle is so important. Understanding that your blockages with generosity is also going to impact the way that you give to others. It's going to attract who you attract, like literally. So imagine that we have the opportunity in our lives to practice on people every single day by just showing up and being good, solid good, without any barriers around giving. And most of us have created these false boundaries because, you're thinking about who's going to hurt you, or who's going to take something from you, or who might take your content and do all this kind of crazy stuff with. But here's the thing. Reality is that I come here all the time. I share in a really abundant way. And the truth of the matter is, like, half the people that came to my conference in December came from a live, and they were like, I just love your lives, and they really changed my life, and I just give it away. Like, this is like, please, are you serious? Because I understand that it's a journey, and that there might be a message that you need to hear that creates that shift. But I know you're coming, right? I know you're coming. And I don't have that when I get up in the morning, that thought. If I think about my relationship with my mentors, my coach Joel, my coach Terry, I mean, God knows, I've probably given Terry like 300 testimonials over the years. There's nothing that I have that I wouldn't share with her. Same with Joel. The reality is that when people change my life, I'm going to change your life, right? That's who I am. I don't have any blockages around that. I'm not thinking that as a result of me, my coach is a business coach, as a result of me talking about Terry, it means that I'm less of anything. Are you kidding me? She changed my life. Okay, before I met her, my trajectory was I was going to be working 40 to 70 hours a week, okay, in a corporation. And now I work from the comfort of my home and I see my family every day. Excuse me. Okay, I'm simply clear. All right. And I think sometimes people get these things mixed up. Learn to be generous, period. And number 8, never shrink your shine because it is just not necessary. And people need you to show up. And you showing up give somebody else permission for them to show up also. Really important. Okay. And takeaway, importance of self-care and investing in yourself, right? So self-care, simple, right? Systematic self-care, make it simple, make it easy. So I do really simple things. I'm in my office right now. And so one of the things is I like to swing. So I have my little egg chair back there, right? So sometimes when I'm reading, I'm like, I just want to sit back there and I'll go, or I have my cup of coffee, have my little movable table. I'll go back there and I do that. I I like aesthetics. I have my little fireplace right here, right? I think about things that I can put in my environment that also feeds me while I'm working. I'm feeling good about where I am. I'm comfortable. I choose beautiful things to be, in my space, right? If I think about my family and wellness being an important part, I think about the foods that I'm going to bring into my home. I think about the equipment I'm going to put in my house. I think about I love spa things. I actually this is such a cool thing. This is an aside, by the way. For Christmas, my daughter ordered me my favorite bath gel and lotion from my favorite spa, Miyamo. And isn't that the coolest thing? This is like the best thing. So I turned 2 of my bathrooms into spa bathrooms. And so the one downstairs I pretty much use all by myself. And the one my husband and I have a wet room upstairs. So it smells like I want to smell. I just like surround myself with the things that I love to do, right? That's what I like to do. And I'm saying this because it's important. Okay, think about things you can do in your home. Maybe it's your favorite coffee mug, your favorite tea mug, right? Or maybe it's your favorite pair of pajamas, right? Or something like that. Or maybe it's a robe. I had my husband for Christmas. I wanted a robe. I wanted my name on it because I wanted it to be like a spa robe for downstairs bathroom. Basically is my spa, right? So, and that's how I look at it. But I just look at ways to take care of myself that way. Invest in yourself at the highest level, understanding that those short-term small investments haven't done it. You need something more to achieve the results you want. And when you do, you will get quicker, faster results sooner. It's true. All right. And then Erica writes, don't shrink your shine. That was really popular today. And I think it is because when you're smart and you're sharp, the deal is like sometimes you are shrinking your shine. When you think outside of the box and you're trying to talk to people about what you want to do, sometimes we don't have the company that's our own ambition level and above to share what it is that we're doing, right? So any final ahas or takeaways? I do want to invite you to join me on Monday of next week, the 11th through the 15th, for the Giant Experience Conference, if and only if you're looking to take your knowledge and package it into a high ticket offering. The testimonial page is there. Take a look at the week and what it is. It's phenomenal, but it has to really be for you if you're ready to take action. So, and no pressure there. Any other final ahas or takeaways? You guys got value tonight, right? So I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere, but you're here right now. And I know that you're here for a reason. These are my biggest 2020 takeaways. You know, they were my biggest takeaways. And they're very powerful. All right. So I love you. And I will talk with you soon. Have an amazing day and have an amazing week. Talk to you soon. Bye. You're welcome, Ursula.